My favorite thing about being on a network TV show is that they would bleep all the bad words and cut some of the more raunchy stuff, which means that my religious grandparents could watch the show and it wouldn't hurt their ears as much as my stand-up does. Not to say that my grandparents aren't supportive. They really are. I think that they're doing a really good job trying to understand where their liberal, agnostic grandkids are coming from. I can't stand it when people are too hard on their grandparents. If your grandparents are trying to understand you, you got to give them some grace if they mess up here and there terms-wise. When people are like, oh, well, my grandma cannot remember my pronouns. I'm like, does your grandma remember her address? Grandma's got bigger fish to fry. The light is coming. Also, do you know how old your grandma is? I don't. Mine's been 62 for 40 years. Also, you're taking more pictures of your grandparents than you ever have before, and they've got to know why, and that can't feel good. My grandparents are the best example I have in my life of Christianity done right. They're very loving, forgiving, non-judgmental people. But my siblings and I are all agnostic because we didn't grow up with that type of Christianity. We grew up in our scary Christian house. And when you grow up with something that hurts you as a kid, you don't really want it in your Barbie dream house as a grown-up, right? I also don't wear belts or use wooden spoons. That's not a coincidence. Oh, thank God. We were all lightly abused. Again, did that joke in Sweden, thought they were gonna call somebody. There's nothing worse than admitting to a room full of people that you got hit when they got tucked in at night. It is humiliating. No, I don't keep anything in my house that hurt me as a kid. No Bibles, no belts, no bridge to Terabithia. I'm hoping the author sees this and writes me a personalized apology. I do think that when you grow up in a scary religious environment, you spend a lot of your young adulthood untangling who you are from who they wanted you to be. Like, I just came out. I have to be honest, my career is going very well right now. This is the last night of the biggest tour I've ever done. I am filming my third Netflix special tonight, and recently someone was using my name and photos on a dating app. It was me. I was doing it. Went through a breakup, got on a dating app. Why? Because my married friends told me to. If you're single, your married friends don't want you to be happy. They don't. They want you on those apps because the apps look fun, and they can't go on them. So they want to stand behind you like a kid at an arcade with no fucking quarters while you fight for your life out there. They're like, go left, go right, go left, go right. You're like, do you want to play? They're like, more than anything. But I have the high score, so it wouldn't be fair. Your married friends don't want more married friends. Nobody wants more married friends. I'm sorry if you're married, and I know you're up front because two-income household. Nobody wants more married friends, okay? Because your life updates are boring. I'm happy you're settled. Good for you. You know who has fun life updates? Your single friends, because we're out there in the trenches making mistakes named Trevor, usually. Have you asked your married friends what they did over the weekend? You're like, what'd you guys do this weekend? They're like, just woke up next to my soulmate again. Then you ask your single friend, you're like, what'd you do this weekend? They're like, I woke up in a shallow grave. You're like, why are you proud of that? Did you have sex in a grave? They're like, why do you think we dug the grave? Do you guys have that one single friend who thinks she's really hot and fun, but she's actually just in constant danger all the time? That one girl, every time she tells you a dating story, you're like, oh my God, okay. No, we're not judging, but maybe just share your location with us indefinitely. I have one friend like that. Every week she tells me the scariest stories I've ever heard in my life. Just like, I had the hottest date Friday, Taylor. I'm making out with this guy at a bar, so sexy. Takes my hand, he's like, let me show you something. Pulls me back through the kitchen, into the back alley, pulls out his huge gun. Points it right at my face, like, give me your phone, your keys, and your wallet. I'm like, okay, kinky, I'll try anything once, right? He hits me in the head. I wake up 30 minutes later, alone in a puddle. I have to hitchhike home. Oh my God, I am such a Samantha. And they're like, okay, we think you got mugged, babe. We think... She's like, mugged? Oh my God, you're such a prude, Taylor. He's gonna call me. He has my phone. Seriously, you'll meet him. He took my breath away. We're like, no, he knocked the wind out of you. Your friends always say the dumbest shit when you go through a breakup, trying to be helpful, right? Like, well, why don't you just date yourself? Because you told me not to settle. What the fuck? I can do better than me. Why can't you just be single for a year? Why can't you go for a walk without headphones? Because you'll think about death the whole time. Exactly. Of being single. I used to just jump from relationship to relationship to relationship because I was so scared that I was going to die alone. And now that I'm older, I'm like, I'm not going to die alone. I don't go hiking by myself, all right? Someone will be there when I die. A doctor, a murderer. Someone will bear witness. But I've been single for the last year now, and it has been the most relaxing year of my entire life. It has been lovely waking up every day going, oh, no one's gonna make me cry today but me. The peace, it's lovely. Here's the thing, being single is not what sucks. Dating is what sucks, and you can opt out of that. Dating is what's shitty, the constant push and pull of hope and disappointment. Dating feels like being a stuffed animal in a claw machine, like, oh my God, it's happening! No, it's not. Oh my God, here we go. Wow, can't believe I told people. That's embarrassing. And you're just moving me over to get to something else. I understand, I get that. And things change so quickly as you're getting older too. I had a friend, I didn't talk to her for a couple weeks. I called her to catch up. She goes, you'll never guess. I think I met my soulmate on Bumble. Gone, just like that. They're getting married this spring. We were lying in the same pile of stuffed animals for years. I closed my eyes for 2 minutes, and when I opened them, she was outside the glass going, it'll happen for you too! I love being the neutral friend who's not dating, because as you get closer to 30, breakups get more and more devastating. Half my friends are getting engaged, and the other half are going through the worst breakup of all time with the person they thought they were going to die with, which means half the phone calls I get are, I'm getting married, and the other half are, I'm getting old, and I'm like, I am getting Taco Bell. Who wants something? Taco Bell, good for every occasion. Nothing will make you more grateful to be single than watching your friend go through a devastating breakup. That's messed up to say, but it's the truth. I have a friend just went through a breakup, still follows her ex on social media because they're trying to be mature and evolved. Rookie mistake. Her ex just posted a photo of him and his new girlfriend, who is a model. I know, don't worry, we all called her. We're like, hey, how's it going? Have you been online today? Because we were thinking maybe doing like a no screens day. We were thinking maybe we just power down, get a quilt, find a field, maybe crack the Bible open one more time. I don't know. She's like, I already saw it. We're like, oh, we're too late. Okay, are you okay? She's like, no, honestly, I wish he was just like dating a man instead. And we're like, oh, you are so problematic, Trish. Why? Why would that be better for you if he was just dating a man instead? She goes, no, listen, because then if he dumped me for a man, it would be like, well, okay, then he just wanted something that I could never be. And we were like, well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of... No, we think you're so pretty, babe, but like a model? Like that's kind of like a different, like look around. Don't you think if you were a model, we'd all be models? But this isn't Model Squad. This is Personality Squad. Like this is a different team you're on. We have another friend who just got cheated on, which is crazy. You can't cheat anymore. It's not the 90s, you idiot. Your phone is tracking your every movement. You're going to get caught. You're going to go out and buy your side chick flowers. Your wife's going to get a text from Bank of America like, we noticed that Steve was being thoughtful? That just seemed like suspicious activity. Over here at BOA, because we know that POS. I think it's important to hang out. I do like having sex with men sometimes. I will say, does anyone like sucking dick for real? Does anyone really? Yeah, oh wow, good for you. Just a quiet hand raise. That's beautiful. That's so nice. Wow, heroes among us. Good for you. I like sucking dick the way I like going for a run. I'm proud of myself after. But during, I'm always like, why'd I do this? I didn't have to do this. There's other ways to get where I'm going. But then afterwards, I'm always like, wow, the power of the human spirit. Really is all mind over matter out there. But then during, I'm like, people should be throwing little cups of water on me for being so brave. But then afterwards, I'm like, nice, got my time down. We're trying to get faster, not better. I remember I was so scared to start going down on women. And then I went down on a girl for the first time and I was like, oh my God, that was so much better. I was so mad at my whole life. I was like, you're telling me this whole time I could have been licking ice creams and instead I've been swallowing swords? Could have been living like a child on the boardwalk. Instead, I've been living like a carny with something to prove. Not that I'm like killing it at queer dating. I am not. I'm running into obstacles I never thought I'd face. I got dumped by a polyamorous person. You ever been dumped by a polyamorous person? It sucks. It's like getting fired from a part-time job. They're like, you can't even work here Mondays and Tuesdays. Holy shit. I didn't think I was going to like dating somebody poly. She was poly. I was busy. But it actually ended up being the most honest, transparent, communicative relationship I'd ever been in. And I was totally in love with her. And she dumped me because I worked too much. And let me tell you something, Grand Rapids. When I started dating a polyamorous person, I did not think it was going to end because my lifestyle didn't work for them. I know some of you don't believe me. You're like, there's no way you liked being poly, Taylor. You are not cool. You reek of monogamy. I bet you masturbate to Bridgerton. And you know what? I don't. I have, but I don't. That joke's not going in the special. There's no way. No. That's way too vulnerable to put on Netflix. We'll not be doing that. Unless it helps the algorithm. We'll have to talk about it. If Netflix was like, if you liked Bridgerton. In therapy, I figured out the day in my childhood I became an emotional eater. I was 8 years old and I was eating a bagel in the kitchen and my dad came in and he goes, you're going to want to put that bagel down. I got to tell you something. And that's when he told me that my mom had died. So somewhere in my brain, something clicked like, oh, when you stop eating bread, people perish. I went back to 4th grade like the angel of death. Everyone's like, step on a crack, break your mother's back. I'm like, stop eating bread, now your mom's dead, dude. They left out that second part, but I had a list when I was 8. I tell you guys that because no one told me. They pulled me aside a year later at school. Someone's like, Taylor, your teacher thinks you might be struggling with a speech impediment. I'm like, what's a speech impediment? Are you sure you have the right person? Because I'm crushing it out there. And they're like, you didn't do anything wrong. You pronounce your words a little differently. Like you say sh instead of s for your S's. Does that make sense? And I was like, I'm pretty sure I would have noticed if I said sh instead of sh. Hope you found who you're looking for. If you have any follow-up questions, I'll be on the seesaw. I know dead mom jokes make people uncomfortable. I know that. And if you are uncomfortable, I don't know what to say. You should have worked harder, so it was you up here. No, honestly, I never want to make people feel uncomfortable with that information. So much so that I used to lie to everybody growing up. I used to tell everybody that my parents were separated so I wouldn't have to say my mom's dead. And that worked very well until recently a friend of mine found out I had lied and she was very upset. She was like, your mom's dead? Taylor, you told me your parents were separated. And I was like, well, they were. By Jesus. Both her parents are alive, so she has no idea how funny that is, but she'll get it eventually, right? Like, that joke is a slow burn. Kind of like cancer, which is what got mine. Hey-o! Okay, all right. Oh, here's the deal, Boston. We have another 6 minutes of dead mom jokes. I know, you're getting whoa, no, 6 minutes, that's a long time. It won't feel long. I've cushioned her, all right? I have laid my dead mom to rest in a beautiful casket of dick jokes and pop culture references. There's something for everybody over the next 6 minutes. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll forget she's dead. But I know a lot's happening for you as a crowd right now, because you're like, Taylor, we're good people. Good people wouldn't laugh at dead mom jokes. I'm here to tell you that if you're trying to be a good person at a comedy show, you're wasting your goddamn time. Trying to be a good person at a comedy show is like trying to recycle at a theme park. You're already in here and part of the problem. Put your hands up and have fun. And I know you're good people. You're like, Taylor, we've known you for 25 minutes. We hate that anything bad ever happened to you even once. Thank you so much, Boston. But what you have to understand is the bad thing already happened. And now I'm talking about it into a microphone in front of people who paid to be here. Which means now the bad thing is money. Do you think I'd be this successful at my age if I had a live mom? No. I'd be a creative writing teacher who loved myself, and I'd be sitting in the dark with you peasants, okay? She's in heaven. I'm on Netflix. It all worked out. That is a real thing I said in therapy. To which my therapist responded, you should come in twice this week. Some people get sad because I was 8 when it happened, but 8 is a great time to lose a parent because you're so stupid. You barely know what's going on. For work, he and I have very similar jobs. We're both out here on the weekends, changing lives. No, he hates it when I say that. He hates it so much. I'm always trying to talk shop with him. I'm like, hey, Jim, how was your early show? He's like, it's first service, Taylor. I'm like, well, I just noticed you had a heckler on the late one. He goes, that person was yelling amen and hallelujah to agree. I'm like, that's the worst kind of heckler, Jim, because they're being supportive, but they're still disrupting your flow, right? I go, I donate 10% of what I make, too. He's like, to who? I'm like, my agent, but it's still a tithe. I'm like, I'm kidding, Jim. I know we don't do the same thing. Doesn't remember what it's like to be heartbroken. She's like, well, what are you going to do now? You going to get back out there? Are you seeing anybody? And I was like, nope, just going to focus on my career for a little bit. And she's like, well, why can't you focus on a career and a relationship at the same time? And I was like, how do I explain this in a way you might understand? Why can't I focus on a career and a relationship? Have you ever been on the freeway in traffic and your lane stops, but the one next to you keeps moving, so you get in the one that's moving, and as soon as you get the one that's moving, that one stops, and the one next to you starts moving again. So you get back in that first one, because that one's moving now, and as soon as you get back in that first one, that one stops again, and the one next to you starts moving. And after you go back and forth a few more times, at a certain point, you're like, okay, is it fucking me? And she's like, yeah, I don't know if I get it because, John and I, we usually just boop, get in the carpool lane. And I was like, where's your baby? I'm gonna drop it. We had a basic ass pastor who stuck to 3 topics. He had 3 messages. You are forgiven. Marriage is hard. Merry Christmas. Those were the 3. I do feel for pastors on Christmas and Easter because those are big weeks at church, right? Those are recruitment weeks. That's when everybody comes out of the woodwork. That's when the decaf Christians swing by. You only see those motherfuckers twice a year, and you gotta blow their minds so hard with the extras that they upgrade their subscription to weekly. That's a lot of pressure. And as the pastor on Christmas and Easter, you can't get creative. You can't get weird with it. Can't do an acoustic set. You got to play the hits. You got to tell the stories, right? Easter's a better story than Christmas, in my opinion. If you don't know, Easter is the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ. It's where all of our merch is from. You've seen it. You've seen it. Dead guy up there, but tasteful, somehow very tasteful. Makes you think about your own death, like, ooh, hope I die in a way that looks good on jewelry, right? Think about it. When grandma died, were you like, ooh, slap her on an anklet? No, he's really doing it up there. I'll stop doing it. I'll stop doing it. We're all familiar. But Easter's a great story. There's a lot of action, right? It's the crucifixion, the resurrection. It's Jesus in his prime, early 30s, ripped. We betrayed him, we killed him, he's back. It's basically Twilight. It's a sexy, sexy story. I'm kidding. Twilight belongs to the Mormons. Don't take that from them, okay? They can't have caffeine. They need something to wake them up. Christmas is not as good a story. It's just not. The birth of Jesus, it starts off strong, right? An angel comes down from heaven, tells Mary, I know you're a virgin, but you're pregnant with the Son of God. Oh, shit. And then the angel has to go tell her boyfriend, Joseph, because believe women wasn't really a thing back then. So the angel's like, it's God in there, I promise. And then what? Then the angel leaves. Then it's just a long walk to a barn. That's most of Christmas, is just this right here. Jesus is barely in it. He comes in right at the end. He does zero magic. It sucks. Jesus is basically the post-credit scene in a Marvel movie. It's trash. Sucks. I remember one year our pastor tried to spice up the Christmas story. You know, anytime I wasn't actively yearning for it, of course. Oh, good, some depression in the room, thank God. I did that joke in Sweden. They just stared at me. They were like, huh? Sad for no reason? But how? They didn't get it. A lot of this hour, Europe didn't get. They were like, God, we have healthcare. They give you God instead of healthcare? That doesn't seem like the same thing. If you have depression, you have a pretty complicated relationship with death. You sort of look at death like it's the Phantom of the Opera. Most of the time, you're like, oh, that's scary. But then sometimes you're like, I mean, that side of his face is kind of hot. Hear me out. I could live underground. I don't know. This section is sad. I've been trying to face my fear of death head on this past year. I wrote a will because a lot of my friends were getting married, and I was like, I want to sign a scary document. I learned so much. If you don't have a will, you got to write one with a professional. That panicked note you write on your phone during turbulence, that will not hold up in court. They taught me that. I thought for sure that was fine. Nope. Here's what I learned. I did not know this. If you die unexpectedly, your closest living relatives are your parents, not your siblings, which is what I thought because I'm dumb. So if you die unexpectedly, your parents will inherit everything you own, unless you disinherit them in writing, like the petty bitch you are, right? And I know some of you are sitting there right now going, well, whatever. I don't have a good relationship with my parents, Taylor, but I don't really have anything for them to inherit. Do you have a TV? Do you think your shitty dad deserves an extra TV? You think your death should feel like winning the Price is Right for him? Fuck that. Call a lawyer. When I was 8, I was like, the only people I know with dead moms are Disney princesses. So like, this sucks, but am I about to get hot? Then I hit puberty and I was like, oh no, I guess God just hates me right now. That's a bummer. That's a joke. God doesn't hate anybody, all right? Not anymore. But have you read the Old Testament? Holy shit. The Old Testament is my favorite Taylor Swift album. It is banger after banger. Just like, you don't believe in me? Snakes! Look what you made me do. I'm a 20-something white woman. Obviously, I'm going to compare T Swift to the Lord, all right? She is the only God I still believe in, all right? I don't see God revamping his old shit. And let's be honest, he probably should, because the people who own it now suck. It does grow you up very quickly, losing a parent that young. I mean, I saw a dead body when I was 8, which means I saw a dead body years before I saw a dick. And that is not the order this shit should go in, according to the American Girl Body Book. Although maybe it should be, because you know what's crazy? A dick, way more traumatizing than your dead mom. Oh my God, it's so much worse. I saw my mom, I was like, that lady used to make me snacks, now she's very still. I saw a dick for the first time, I was like, oh my God, who took Jabba the Hutt's eyes? You have done nothing for me. No, I didn't say Beetlejuice even one time. I haven't seen that many dicks, and I don't want to see any more. And it's nothing against men. I'm attracted to you for some reason. But I swear to God, every time you see a new dick, there's an adjustment period, isn't there? Just a real quick, like, and we're back in it. All right. I have stayed in relationships too long because I just wasn't ready to see a fresh one. I just couldn't wrap my head around it, literally or figuratively. I just didn't have it in me. Couldn't have it in me. And I don't care how many dicks you've seen. Every time you see a new dick, it feels like jumping into a cold pool. Just like, whoa, all right, let me just swim around, get used to this one. Okay, all right, this one's deeper than the last one, but that's okay. That's all right. This is why we take our arm floaties, you know, for moments like these. Just control your breathing. Hot girl summer, bitch. You can do it. I think of the genitalia options available, I think dicks seem friendlier, you know? They're up, they're happy to see you, they're wagging. I've never had sex. It's like a front tail, right? I'll Google it, it's fine. It's all speculation. I've never seen a vagina, not in my own, I'm a Christian. But from what I hear, it is very spooky down there. It's just a dark, spooky hole. Like, a hole? I'm sorry, what? Every time someone fingers me, I'm like, you are very trusting, sir. Because I don't even know where that goes. That might be where I keep the bipolar. That might be where it has been. Actually, if you see any, could you scrape it out? Could you? Just like a mental health pap smear? Can you just do? Don't do that. Like, you gotta hook your finger. Like when a baby's choking, are you familiar? If you do that, it'll push it in too far. It's too late. But if you hook your finger, you swipe it, that's how you get it out. I like doing that joke because it goes too far, but you do learn something that could save a life. I just love the idea of years from now, someone being like, if it weren't for that dick joke, my niece would not be here. He came out, he goes, thought he found a new angle, right? He comes out, he goes, you know, we always kind of rush through the Christmas story, don't we? Since we all know it so well. But if you ever really stop to think about what this must have been like for Mary. And all the women were like, oh. And all the men were like, no. Which one's Mary again? Oh, are you talking about the vessel? You talking about the hole we put the Lord in? You talking about the Jesus jar? You talking about the Christ cubby? You talking about the Savior sack? You talking about the prophet pocket? We could keep going, but we have to move on. But that's a fun game to play, to come down from the cousin fight, if you want. That Mary POV sermon went over so well for him that he came out the next year all excited. Like last year we talked about what it must have been like for Mary to find out she was pregnant with Jesus. But have you ever stopped to think about what this must have been like for Joseph? And all the men were like, finally, representation. I also think whores are lying to me. Joseph was Mary's betrothed at the time. Again, I don't assume everybody knows all the Bible stories. You grow up in church, you're like, everybody's learning these. Nope, some kids were having childhoods on their bikes. Yeah. Is there anyone in here who never went to church, has never believed in God, never been religious at all? Wow, all in the back. That checks out. That checks out. Well, you sound very at peace. You sound so relaxed, but how do you know right from wrong? How do you not kill people? Some Christians talk like that. My dad growing up was like, you know, if I weren't a Christian, I'd be in jail. And I'm like, whoa, I'm 6. Let's do Goodnight Moon tomorrow instead of Dad's Dark Thoughts. That Some Christians walk around like, yeah, if Sky Dad didn't have me on house arrest, there'd be some mud on my boots. And you're like, cool, let's only hang out in groups. But if you didn't grow up in church, you might not know a lot of Bible stories. You might not know any Bible stories. I won't put you on the spot, don't worry. I used to learn my lesson. One time I asked someone and they panicked and went, VeggieTales! Not as queer in the last couple of years. And, oh, thank you. Thank you. That's really nice of you. Because let me tell you, coming out as bisexual at 30 feels like saying to a waiter, by the way, it's my birthday. And they're like, cool, sing to yourself. You're a grown woman. So you're like, excuse me, I was very brave. I just came out. They're like, yeah, but the coast was clear, wasn't it, babe? Like, I would have come out sooner, but I have 3 younger siblings, and they're all queer, and they kept coming out. They just kept popping out like little groundhogs. And every time another one popped out, I was like, well, that's 6 more months of heterosexuality for me, I guess. I was also hesitant to come out as bisexual because there's a stigma around it, right? When you say you're bisexual, a lot of people assume that you are good at sex. And I'm not, guys. And I refuse to get better. All right? I'm not learning any more tricks, okay? I turned 30, I was like, shut it down. As Jesus said, it is finished. I'm hitting save progress. I'm going to die on this level. But I didn't want to tarnish the brand of bisexuality. I didn't want to bring down the team. I have so many queer friends who are so open and free with their sexualities. It's like, oh, it's so fun. I have so many like Samanthas in my friend group, and they're so fun and inspiring. But I also think we need some gay prude representation as well. The craziest thing that happened is my mom died of cancer. See? You almost forgot. And then my dad got remarried, and then our stepmom got cancer. She's fine, don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you twice. That's God talking to my dad. And as soon as our stepmom got it, me and my siblings were like, holy shit. Is Dad giving people cancer? We thought he was a carcinogen. We were like, don't microwave anything for him. I think that's how he's doing it. If he had taken down a second one, we would have put a warning on his Christian Mingle account. Like bare minimum, just like, hey, chemicals in here have been known to cause cancer. Ride at your own risk. I feel like some people don't believe me that she's alive. She's completely fine, you guys. She's happy, healthy, great lady. We actually call my stepmom Mom because when my dad married her, nobody was using it. So we were like, yeah, be Mom. Who cares? Oh, I'm sorry. If your principal quit and you got a new principal, they wouldn't be like, this is Lisa. Like, let her be principal. There's an opening. Also, we were so young when it happened and my dad got remarried so fast. I think he was kind of hoping he could just like Indiana Jones switch him out before anybody noticed. You know when you're a kid and your hamster dies and your parents don't want to explain death to you, so they just buy you a new one that looks the same and they're like, no, that's Connie. She just bites now. That's kind of what he did. But with moms. But I never used to talk about any of that. I never used to talk about my mom dying because I didn't want to make people uncomfortable. And also, like most of us with childhood trauma, should be pretty much everyone in here. If you're sitting here tonight going, I don't think I have any, I had great parents, I had a good childhood, and this comedy show, it's not that fun for me. Good. I hope this is the worst night of your whole life. Because it sounds like it's been smooth sailing. And you might need some perspective. But most of us did have some childhood trauma. And when you get to be an adult, you're like, whoo, made it. Never have to think about that again. Look at all my keys. The world's my oyster. And so you just start pushing all that dark stuff that happened to you as a kid down, down, down until you don't even think about it anymore. And that works for a long time. Until one day. You stub your toe really hard on a curb and you just start weeping uncontrollably in the street. And you're like, okay, this is about something else. I was keeping all my trauma in that toe. And then I jostled it and now it's everywhere. Go back in. And if you don't deal with that stuff, it's going to keep affecting you in ways you are not even conscious of. With the guy she's dating, I was like, really? She goes, yeah, would you ever have a threesome? I was like, oh my God, no. I didn't want to hang out with 2 other people. I've never been been in the middle seat on a flight fighting for an armrest, like, wish we were all naked. That would be cool. I don't even think I could date an extrovert again. I dated an extrovert once. We moved in together. The first week we lived together, he's like, hey, what if we had some people over? I was like, look, if you don't want to be with me, just say so. You want to have people over? Over what? My dead body? If you're an extrovert and you're in love with an introvert, you gotta understand, asking us to invite people over is like asking us to do anal. Watch our face change. Like, I'm sorry, is it your birthday? Seems like a big ask for a random Tuesday. I live alone now. It's incredible. I fall asleep in the middle of the bed like a boy king, just like, good night, Joffrey. It's fantastic. I eat all the food I buy. Every grocery I buy goes it goes bad. That's power, DC. Yeah. If I clog the toilet at home, I don't have to deal with it right away. That's freedom, DC. When I lived with a man I was attracted to, I was always like, no, please, toilet, don't tell him I'm a human woman. I beg of you. Take my dark secrets to your watery grave. Remember our bargain. Now I'm like, you loser, toilet. That's what lids are for. You want to see the sky, do your job. I was so afraid of being single all throughout my 20s. I was terrified. I turned 30 2 weeks ago. And that means that I have spent the last 14 years of my life trying to get good at this, trying to get good at stand-up, trying to have the career that I am now fortunate enough to have. Thanks to all of you, honestly, yeah. And as grateful as I am, and as lucky as I am, it has really made me, this year especially, go, oh no, I don't know if I'm going to be good at this other stuff. I mean, I know I'm a good comedian. I don't know if I'm a good person. I don't know if I'm a good parent. I don't know if I'm a good partner. This hour of material that I'm doing right now, that's like, can I have it all? I don't even know. This is not a bit, DC. I am genuinely concerned. Because I know how hard it is to do this job and be in this business and have a family. I see how hard friends of mine work at it. I also see how little work people put into it. There are a lot of people in this business who are like, you can have kids and travel. They got FaceTime now, which feels like tying your dog up outside a coffee shop and going, I can see him through the window. He's okay. And I still have a lot of childhood shit that I'm working through on my own. I don't want to put that on a kid, right? Like, I was watching a TED Talk recently. Sorry, I was watching a TikTok recently. I always get those confused. The information's still good, it's just vertical. That said, if you have childhood trauma you are still working through as an adult, you need to learn how to parent yourself as a grown-up. So I've been trying to do that in order to heal. I've been trying to parent myself. But I kind of feel like I got pregnant with me in high school. And I was not ready for this responsibility. And now I wake up every morning, totally overwhelmed, trying not to shake me. Like, okay, if I let you watch TikTok on my phone for 30 minutes, will you please stop crying? All my friends are like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I think I have colic. I kept me up all night. I love TikTok, but you know what's so funny to me about TikTok? All these kids on TikTok who are like lip syncing and dancing and like pretending they're in a music video, right? We all did that growing up, didn't we? Yeah, like alone in your room in the mirror, hairbrush, of course. But if anyone had walked in on you doing it, you would have killed yourself, right? And these kids are online, like, I hope millions of people see this. It's like, you could benefit from some bullying, I think. Might have overcorrected a bit. But I do have a lot of friends who are getting married and having kids, and, you know, they're condescending as hell. It's so funny how the same girls who used to wake up drunk on train tracks are now like, I don't know how you stay out past 10 p.m. Your lifestyle's really unhealthy. I'm like, I've seen you snort coke off a rusty bike rack. But you keep sniffing that baby's head like we all forgot. But my friends who have kids and are married, like, they complain about their jobs, and I do the same dismissive thing right back to them, where I'm like, well, yeah, but you're married, so you're fine. They're like, yeah, but I'm miserable 60 hours of the week. I'm like, yeah, but you have your dream dick, so you're fine. And it's not great. And I think part of it is that we're all turning 30. And 30 was this age in our heads where we're like, well, by 30, we'll have all our shit together, right? So that kept us going through our 20s. We're like, we're 25 and we're garbage, but in 5 years, we'll have it all figured out. And then you're like, I'm 27 and I'm just a piece of shit, but that I have 3 years to turn this around. And then you're like, okay, I'm 29, crunch time, bitch. And now that we're all 30, we're like, oh shit, our lives are not going exactly as we always pictured them. And so now there's this weird comparing that's going on, this weird tension. Like, I know that all of my friends both pity and envy me. Just like I know that I both pity and envy them, right? I know my friends look at me and go, yeah, I mean, I would probably focus on work if I was all alone. And I go, yeah, I'd probably have a bunch of kids if I had no talent. So we're all... And it's not healthy per se. But I do think it's good to focus on what is going right in your life. I think that that's gratitude. I think that that's important. And it has gotten me through a lot of weddings and baby showers to have my dream job. To sit in the back row like, yeah, whatever. Have your bullshit love party. Hope it works out. I'm still gonna have the coolest job of anybody you know. And that was true until somebody married an astronaut. And everybody's so impressed. I guess astronaut beats everything. They're like, you gotta admit, Taylor, that's the coolest job. And I'm like, oh, he's gotta wear a costume or he'll die? Fuck off. That's a dumb job. Now, if I can't breathe somewhere, I don't go there, Dan. That's just science. Dan hasn't even been to space, you guys. He just goes to work and practices space. That's his job. He goes in, they put him in a roller coaster ride. They're like, don't throw up. He's like, you got it, Captain. What a hero. Binged Euphoria too fast. Because I've been trying to date women, but it is so hard. I don't know how to get women to like me. I know how to get men to like me. That's easy. You just trick them. You just wait until they kind of like you, and then you're like, you don't like me. And they're like, yeah, I do. And you're like, no, you don't. And they're like, yeah, I do. And you're like, no, you don't. And they're like, yeah, I do. And you just do that until they get you pregnant, I think. You just have to turn it into a fun challenge for them. Like, bet you can't spend the rest of your life with me. And they're like, fucking watch me, you bitch. It's like when you ask a kid to take out the trash and they're like, no. And you're like, I'll time ya. And he's like, and you're like, see, you didn't even think you wanted to do that. He's like, who cares? I'm the fastest boy alive. Hitting on women is so much harder. It feels so much more delicate. Like, hitting on a woman feels like trying to skip a stone on a lake. Hitting on a man feels like throwing a brick through a window. I'm like, I don't even really care. I just want to see what happens. I'm not going to live here, right? I might be sexist. I'm hearing it now as I'm talking. I think I'm sexist because when a man rejects me, I'm like, this idiot. But when a woman rejects me, I'm like, she probably knows what she's talking about. So I was talking to a friend of mine about it because, you know, you don't want to just like, it's scary to just say you're bisexual because then someone's always like, fucking prove it. Here's a picture of Margot Robbie. Are you wet? Let me feel. Like everyone's real aggressive about it. It's weird. You gotta like prove it to people. But I was asking my friend about it and she goes, well, obviously sexuality is a spectrum. She watched Euphoria too. But she goes, I know that I'm super straight because I could not go down on another girl. I think that's gross. And I was like, okay. Let's think about this, Taylor. Why are you not going down on a girl right now? Is it because it's gross to you? And I was like, no, it's not that it's gross to me. It's that I really don't want to be bad at something as an adult. Okay? My brother is trans, my sisters are gay, and I identify as afraid. I am so afraid of failure. I can't even stick with new hobbies as an adult. How the fuck am I supposed to get good at... Getting good at going down on women to me would be like learning how to play the piano. I would love to have that skill. I would love to bust that shit out at parties, impress everyone. But I don't have the time or humility to sit down and learn new fingerings. I don't have it. I get halfway through Jingle Bells. I'm like, fuck, I suck. I should have started at 12. I'll never catch up. I already know how to play the clarinet. It is not my passion, but I have the respect of my peers. I have many years of experience under my belt, under someone's belt, under some belt. And when I was a kid, I didn't know there was another option. When I was a kid, they were like, you're a girl, you play clarinet. And I was like, what about piano? Could I play piano if I want? And they're like, sure, you can play piano. If you want to go to fucking hell. Anybody else religious trauma? Do we have any of that in here? Okay. I'm so sorry if you don't have any. I know I'm a broken record about it. I should shut up about it, but I keep realizing new things every year. For example, did you guys know that when you come, you're not supposed to yell, take that, Jesus? Did you guys know that? I wish that was a joke, DC. I really do. But I had to make a lot of decisions when I wrote my will. I had to choose who was going to pull the plug if I'm in a coma. So I picked my sibling Bryn, because they are going to inherit my money if I die. And I was like, earn it, dude, right? I go, you decide when that money drops. And they were like, okay, well, if you're in a coma not responding to anything, what do you want me to do? How long do you want me to wait? And I was like, here's what I want you to do. I want you to start Parks and Rec from the beginning. And I want you to keep it playing all day, all night in my hospital room. If we get to the end of that show and I have not woken up yet, start The Office. And then when Steve Carell leaves, just kill me. Do not make me watch Andy be manager. Don't do that to me again. Don't do that. I've been masturbating like this my entire adult life, and I recently mentioned it to a friend of mine. And you ever say something out loud and realize you never should have ever? I said it so casually over brunch, didn't even think about it. I was like, oh yeah, I don't think about anything. Well, I do that. And she was like, what? She put her fork down. What? You don't think about anything? And I was like, oh no, I think some stuff, obviously. And she was like, what do you think about? And I was like, oh, just like almost there, making good time. Just like road trip thoughts, like keep your hands steady, don't fall asleep. Can't wait to get there so I can eat. Better hurry up, Taco Bell's gonna close, And she was like, that is so weird, Taylor. Why don't you just watch porn like a normal person? And I was like, ugh, I don't like porn. Every time I try to watch porn, I'm just like, you gotta shave there too? I'm tired and I'm cold. And I'm not against porn, okay? I'm not one of these people that's like, if you watch porn, it'll ruin your relationship. I don't feel that way, all right? I dated a guy once who was really into massage porn, where the masseuse would like fuck their client at the end, which means sometimes when we had sex, I got a massage! That's an example of porn working for you! But my friend was like horrified. She was like, Taylor, this like monk masturbation thing you do, it is so much creepier and weirder than any porn I've ever seen. And I've seen most of it. And she goes, there are so many different options porn-wise on the internet now. You just go home and Google porn for women, okay? Just do it, I promise. Porn for women. And so I went home and I Googled porn for women so I wouldn't be weird at brunch. And a lot of surprising things came up when I Googled it. First thing that came up when I Googled porn for women was a link to Disney Plus, where all the Avengers movies are. Now, for me personally, they jump around too much. There's too many storylines. You're almost there with Loki, and now we're on Captain America. It's like, I have to start over. That's a different speed, a different pressure, and now there's a raccoon? No. The second thing that came up when I Googled porn for women was a website where real-life couples are uploading amateur sex tapes. Yeah, real-life couples are like, hey, we're so happy and in love. We thought that we would film ourselves making love and then put it online for you, a lonely person. Is it working? Are you wet? And you're like, not in the right place. No. But congratulations, what you have seems really special. But the last thing that came up when I Googled porn for women, I did not know existed. It's something called audio porn. It's exactly what it sounds like. There's no visual aspect. It's all audio. It's not really a porn star. It's more like a porn voice actor talking you through a sexy situation. It's like a podcast, except don't listen while you're driving. And because it's for women, that just means there's a story, right? Anyone can watch. They don't check. They don't just hop on the mic like, now it's out, bitch! Like, they ease you into it. And so the one I found is 20 minutes long. I will send it to you if you DM me. And the first 12 minutes, the story is just a man calming you down after you've been in a car wreck. That is the foreplay. And you guys, I came so hard. I mean, I didn't even make it to the sex part. It was the comfort alone. He's like, it's okay, take some deep breaths, don't worry. The insurance companies will figure it out. I'm like, oh my God, that's right, that's why we have insurance. By the time he was like, what else can I do? Should I go down on you? I was like, nah, man, I got Allstate. I'm in good hands. But because I grew up in church, I see Bible stories everywhere, right? Like, here's some fun ones. What about the 200 foreskins story? Do you know that one? Yeah? That's a deep cut. So, in the Bible, David wanted to marry Saul's daughter, and Saul's like, you can marry my daughter if you bring me back the foreskins of 100 of my enemies. Which, like, whoa, Scorpio, am I right? Who has 100 enemies and is thinking about their foreskins? Like, someone was born in deep November. So Saul's like, get me 100 foreskins, then we'll talk. So David goes out, comes back with 200 foreskins, and that's where the phrase, if he wanted to, he would, ladies, comes from. Yeah. That's not from TikTok, that's from the Bible. What about Job? Have we heard of Job? Job? Got some Job heads in the house? Job was this guy in the Bible. He loved God so much. One day, God and Satan are talking. They don't really get into why they're talking, but, you know, sometimes you call your ex and everyone's like, what are you doing, right? So God and Satan are kicking it for some reason. And Satan goes, hey, God, I noticed that Job loves you a lot. And God's like, yeah. And Satan's like, well, I bet he wouldn't love you as much if I fucked with him enough. And God's like, okay, I'm bored. Let's see what you got. So Satan goes out and he ruins Job's life. But Job never forsakes God. And that is what How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is based off of. Matthew McConaughey is Job. Kate Hudson is Satan.
Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Tomlinson!
The boys wanna be her. The boys wanna be her. The girls wanna be her. The boys wanna be her. The girls wanna be her.
DC, how we doing? How stupid was that? I came up from the floor like I'm a fucking Jonas brother. I know that was silly, and it was my idea. I was so embarrassed that I thought of that, but it was too late when we got here to change it because men with jobs had built it. And we're operating it very well, I might add. And I was just like, we could probably just scrap it, right? They're like, well, this is like a week of our lives. So I know that was dumb. Thank you for indulging me. How we doing, DC? Thank you so much for coming. I'm gonna be the one who falls in love with a robot. Have you been honest with you? It's okay. It's gonna be me. That's why I don't use ChatGPT. I'm not ready for a relationship. And I'm holding strong now, but in a few years, when robot partners are available at like Best Buy, yeah, it's gonna be me drunk at the dinner party defending my robot husband to all my friends. Like, oh, I'm sorry, what even is a soul, you guys? Can you define it? That's what I thought. Also, I've met your lame-ass husband, Chelsea. Don't try to tell me you don't plug his ass in at night. Okay? Oh, it's a CPAP machine. He'll die. Whatever. His stories are long. Okay? Now show some respect. He's not an air fryer. He's the love of my life. Look him in the eyes when you talk to him. His pronouns are not it, that. Yours are bitch, bitch. How about... They are different. One is all caps. I like the idea of a robot partner because I think I'm less likely to fuck that up. I said less. No, you're right. I'll still find ways to be shitty and jealous of a robot partner. I'm like, why are you always by the dishwasher? Is her rack bigger than mine? Does she get wetter than me? Is it because she makes bubbles? Like, I can make bubbles, I'll get an infection, but if you need bubbles, like... Job, so I got HR training. I've never had that before. There's no HR in stand-up comedy. It's the opposite, in fact. They're like, are you harassing people? Great job, start a podcast. It was fun, that HR training. I learned a lot. Did you know we're allowed to fuck people at work? Did you know that? Well, people from work, you gotta take them somewhere else. But I thought everyone at work was off limits romantically. Now, according to Jill from HR, she's like, no, you can date. You just have to tell us if you are. And I go, oh, because then you'll tell our like higher up bosses. And then she goes, no, you just have to tell us. And I was like, who are these sick little freaks in HR who are like, no, you can fuck each other. You just have to tell us everything. Was it good? Do you have photos for the PowerPoint? That PowerPoint was fun. The one where they go through all the different scenarios, ask you, is this appropriate or inappropriate? Spoiler alert, they're all inappropriate. I didn't know that. I thought they were supposed to inspire conversation and debate. No, they're all a pretty clear thumbs down if you know what you're doing. I had my own private HR training, probably because they knew I was the weakest link on set. So they did it during my hair and makeup. So it was me, Deb, and Havana who did my hair and makeup for the show. Jill is going through all the different scenarios, right? She goes, all right, scenario number 1. Kyle tells Sharon on her birthday, doesn't matter how old you get, I would still be down. And he winks at her. Is that appropriate? And we were like, do you have a picture of Kyle? Is it the next slide? How tall is Kyle? What's he smell like? What's he working with? How old's Sharon? Is she ovulating? We don't have enough information to answer the prompts, Jill. I used to be a really toxic girlfriend. I've worked on it a lot in therapy over the years. I was a nightmare in my 20s. I was dating a guy once in my 20s, and we were laying on the couch one night, and we weren't fighting, and I thought that was weird. So I turned to him, and I said, hey, babe, if you found out that we were cousins, would you break up with me? And he goes, yes. And I was like, whoa, fast. No follow-up questions. You're just out like that. He goes, it's illegal, Taylor. I'm like, so are mushrooms, and we did those. Now you're this law-abiding citizen just because we're cousins? He goes, you're so wrong about this. Ask anyone we know. So I texted the 3 happiest couples in my phone, and I said, hey, if you 2 found out you're cousins, you didn't know when you met, you haven't known this whole time you've been together, you have the same relationship you've always had, but whoops, you're cousins. Would you break up? And they all wrote back, do we have to tell anybody? And I showed him my phone, and I said, that's what love looks like. Quick poll. If you found out your partner was your cousin, clap if you would break up with them. Okay. That's a lot of people. No, don't discuss. Fight in the car. Fight in the car. Okay, now, if you found out your partner was a robot, clap if you would break up with them. Oh, interesting. Bit of a drop-off over here. Some of us clap for cousin and not for robot. Okay, so we're going to abandon our family, but we'll keep fucking the toaster. Okay, well, that makes sense. I don't think I'm smarter than religious people. I hate it when atheists talk down to anyone who believes in God. I've believed a lot of stupid shit in my life. God's not even top 3, okay? I've believed tall guys. He plays guitar, he must be nice. I'm dumb, all right? When my religious family members talk about God, like God got me through the hardest years of my life, I'm like, shit, that's how I talk about Gilmore Girls. Like, I'm an idiot. And I capitalize those G's. I make sure every time. That's right. Yeah. But I have a lot of Christians in my life. A lot of people praying for me, which I try not to take personally. You ever have someone say they're praying for you and you don't know what they're referring to? They're like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm praying for you. What? I'm not sick. Oh yeah? Well, I'm praying for you. What do you think about that, Bev? Heard you need it, bitch. She's like, no, God's just been putting you on my heart lately. Well, tell God to scrape me off your heart because I'm doing awesome, okay? I don't know what you heard in the church parking lot, but that was a family matter, Bev. I'm going to tint the van windows. I have a lot of cool Christians in my life, play an important role in their lives. I love to third wheel it with my married friends, go out to dinner, see a movie, because I love that moment when they walk up to meet me in front of the restaurant, and I can tell that they've been fighting in the car. Married people think you hide it so well. You're just like, let's just table it till later. Let's just table it till later and have a nice evening. And then you come in real sweaty like, hey, it's good to see you. Glad we're finally doing this. Did they bring bread? They should have brought bread. The bread should have beat us here. Hey, can we get some bread, please? Can we get something to do with our hands other than attack each other, please? How are you? Tell us about you. Don't make me look at her. Don't make me look at her. And that's when you, as a single friend, get to tell your married friends all about dating nowadays. You get to tell them about the ghosting and the catfishing and the deep fake AI porn. And you know they get back in the car a few hours later like, I don't say this enough, but I'm grateful for you. Hang out with your married friends. Go to their barbecue. I'd love to come. What can I bring? Ice, dessert, perspective. You want to know what the best part about being single is, though? My parents don't watch me do stand-up anymore. Don't worry. Don't worry. They're not interested. No Christian parents want to watch their daughter talk about depression and dick for an hour. It's not fun for them. My parents don't have a dark sense of humor, and I do, and I'm glad I do, because if you can laugh at the darkest stuff that's ever happened to you while it's still actively happening to you, sometimes that's what gets you through it. For example, here's a joke they will not like. Did you guys know that sometimes when you call a suicide hotline and the call drops, they do not call you back? Yeah, you think that'd be the time for star 69, but sometimes they just ring a bell in the cubicle like, lost another one, that's lunch. Some of you are tensing up like, did that really happen? Yeah, a few years ago, and it was fucking hilarious. I was on the floor of a DoubleTree hotel like, did this bitch just ghost me while I'm trying to ghost myself? That is, I've been left on red. I've never been left for dead. That's a new one. That is brutal. I wasn't even mad. For all I know, that's how they train those volunteers. Like, hey, some nights we get too many calls. Fridays are big for us. In those situations, you're just gonna have to use your best judgment, all right? Like, I usually wait for like a privileged white girl name, like a Chelsea, a Kelsey, a Taylor. Those are the salmon I throw back and hope they swim upstream on their own. Even if I was mad, what am I gonna do? Hop on Yelp? Like, 1 star, totally killed myself. You're gonna wish I killed myself after this reveal. I did that joke in Texas a few weeks ago, and there was a girl, white, my age, in the crowd who goes, and the wait times are ridiculous. And she's right, okay? I think if you were a frequent caller, there should be some sort of rewards program. You know, like when you show loyalty to an airline. Like, you should be able to do that with suicide hotlines where you call in and they're like, please enter your rewards number. Boop, 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 boop. Welcome back. Taylor. Thank you for your diamond medallion status. You are now 3rd in line. Would you like to use an upgrade and kick someone else out? My parents are still very, very religious. I had a parent die really young, so my siblings and I all have really dark senses of humor, right? Like I was talking to my younger sibling, Bryn, recently, because you know how you and your siblings all remember different parts of your childhood? So sometimes you get together and you're like, all right, here's what I remember. What have you got? Okay, let's put this all out on the table and figure out what the fuck happened to us back there. So we were having a puzzle day at home. And I said, do you remember that hospice grief support group we got sent to for kids whose parents had died of cancer? And Bryn goes, oh yeah. Do you remember how not everybody's parents were dead yet? Yes, some of them still had active, I'm just saying, feels like they could have put us in different rooms, right? Maybe do a shirts and skins situation. But no, they were like Christmas present, Christmas future, discuss. Something's coming around the mountain. You know what it is. That's not what I remembered about the group. What I remembered about the group is there was one kid in there whose parent hadn't died. His uncle had died. And, look. I don't want to be a bitch. But, like, our mom was dead. And it just kind of feels like paper covers uncle. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, this kid had parents. He wasn't Spider-Man. Like, some losses affect who you are for the rest of your life, and some are your uncle. Like, what are we? I do think when you have the part about being single, hands down, is that you do not have to introduce anybody to your parents. Have you guys introduced people you were dating to your parents? It's not about introducing people you love to one another, is it? No. It's about showing your partner why you're mean to them sometimes. It's about taking your sexual partner back to the scene of the crime. To say, see, the stories are true. Because you don't want your partner to like your parents. You want them to walk out of that night going, oh my God. Your parents are just, I know. I mean, seriously, babe, how did you ever? I don't know. Kind of seems like maybe people should cut me some slack when I'm being a bitch, though, huh? Kind of seems like maybe now that we have all the information, turns out I could be a lot crazier if I wanted. But I keep a lid on it pretty good, and I deserve to stop at Target on the way home. With no time limit. And I want a cart, not a basket. You have to be careful when you introduce people to your parents, though, because your parents don't always show up as your parents, do they? Mine never did. My parents undermined me every single time I brought someone home to meet them. I did everything right. I did the huddle up in the car before we went in, like, hey, remember what I told you? If those people in there, they're not your friends. Whatever they say to you, do not take that personally. It's not about you. It's about them. Do you want to write that on your hand in case you forget? No? You can look at my tattoo if you get scared. Let's do it. And then you go inside prepared for your parents to show their true colors. And your parents float downstairs. And they're just amazing all night. They're like fun, cool, laid back. Your dad's in an open Hawaiian shirt. Just a one-man conga line, topping off drinks, saying all kinds of progressive shit you've never heard him say. You want another beer? We should golf sometime. What are your pronouns again? And you gotta get back in the car later muttering like a conspiracy theorist. Like, well, that was not, I was there and I know it happened and it was all right. And no one can tell me what didn't happen and I know where it is. While your boyfriend buckles up like, I don't know what you're talking about, babe. Your parents are awesome. And you're like, oh. No, they are not. I don't know who those lizard people were, but they are not the ones who broke me. And the next time you see your parents, they're all smug, like, Jason really seemed to like us. You're like, I know what you're doing. Oh, maybe your therapist wants to meet us next, get our side of the story. I cannot wait till you're in the ground. All right, well, we'd like to be cremated. I will scatter your ashes where God can't find them. I will see you both at Easter. I really appreciate you guys coming to this new hour of material because I know it's a lot of God stuff and a lot of gay stuff, and my agents are nervous. I think my whole team was a little nervous when I said I was going to do a tour called Save Me and talk about religion. I got a call from my publicist one day like, hey, I heard you're going to call this special prodigal daughter and you want to call the tour Save Me. I think that's great. Just making sure you're not taking any promo photos like hanging upside down from a cross, right? Anyway, so we got rid of those photos. But no, I did not do that. I did not do that. That was never the intention. I understand why they thought it was going to be an hour just bashing Christianity, because if you watch all of my other specials, I usually take a few minutes to take a few shots at Christianity, and that's because I was working through a lot of stuff from my childhood, and also I was really jealous that Christianity had worked for other people and not me. As a mentally ill person, it is devastating when someone just goes, yeah, I used to be sad too, and then I accepted Jesus into my heart, and now I'm all better. And you're like, oh, is that all you did? That's all you did? Oh, just said a little poem in the dark, and now you're worthy of love? That's great. I love that for you. Oh. It's like when someone goes, yeah, I just stopped drinking soda, lost 20 pounds, all my acne went away. And you're like, oh my God, that's so cool. I hope your plane falls out of the sky. The problem that I have with religion is it can be interpreted so many different ways, right? Like you can say to a room full of people, Jesus loves you no matter what. And a lot of those people will hear, Jesus loves me. But some of those people will hear, no matter what. And that's the problem, right? Religion can be used as either a weapon or a tool. And to be clear, if you are using religion as a weapon to control, manipulate, scare people, to make yourself feel superior to everyone else, fuck you. That's not what it's for. You are not using that correctly. You're using a vibrator as a back massager and we're all fucking laughing at you. Because if God does exist, he does not exist to make you feel better than other people. He exists to make you better for other people. And life is so fucking hard. Whatever makes you a better person for other people, that's what you should be doing. We do this weird thing where we forget that everybody's struggling. Everybody's just trying to get through it. And we judge each other's coping mechanisms. Like, oh, you're a quitter if